What's up, Wolfpack? This is one-on-one with Josh Mcswiggan.
So, Josh Mcswiggan, how are you?
Doing good, doing very good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a very hot day today. You enjoying the hot weather?
Yeah, I did. Had a little walk around, but you can only enjoy it so much. Yeah, it was pretty good. Little walk down the river.
I say it's quite nice at this time of year in Worcester. Like as you mentioned, you've got the river and everything else. Have you got any more plans to try and discover a bit more of Worcester this the hot weather?
Yeah. Like once things open back up and everything, it'll be for sure to check out different spots in different areas around Worcester, and they'll be good to soak it all in and enjoy the place.
Obviously, being away from the UK for 6 years, you've got a long time away. Have you discovered your love back for the Great Britain?
Yeah, for sure. There's no place like home. There's the saying goes. So, but it's been nice being back home. It's been too long, really. With the stunts in America and France and stuff like that. You miss certain things about being home and things like that, and you only get to come back for a little while. So it's good being back for a longer period of time and just to experience it all again, really.
Yeah, it's quite nice to obviously you've travelled loads. What do you think is the main differences between the UK and some of the other places like the States and France?
I think it goes down with everything. Every place has its own sort of culture, its own sort of the way society runs and things like that. So I think you experience all these in different ways, and some places have a nicer experience, and then some places you may not. But that's one thing that really is significant. The weather. Wherever you go, you'll experience different types of weather, but the main thing is the people you meet and things like that. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and obviously you've travelled around a lot. What if you're comparing the cuisine of all the places you've been to, who wins?
Oh, America for sure. Yeah. There's not many things when I lived in America that I thought I want back home, other than maybe like a fish and chips or something like that. That's the main thing I was craving when I come back for the summer and things like that. But out in the States, I think they just do it a bit bigger and better and everything. And I'm not a quality guy, I'm more a quantity guy. But I guess that sort of suited my needs. And
what was your favourite place to go and visit or eat out in the States?
Oh, there's tons of places. If we're talking just straight fast food, I went to a lot of fast food places. Probably not good for an athlete's diet, but Taco Bell would be one that at certain times of the day in the evening it would be quite a good meal to have. But I used to go to Panda Express, which is like a Chinese takeaway, and Domino's. That's everywhere, but I think the Domino's is better out in the States than it is here. And then there's some chicken spots. Popeye's Chicken is a nice place that I love. Cane's Chicken, that's a nice place that I love. So there's quite a few fast food restaurants, but I'm a big steak guy, things like that. So there's a lot of steak houses and things like that, and breweries too. Breweries are a big thing out in, especially where I was in Portland. So that was another place, type of food area that I'd go to.
So you mentioned missing, maybe like a chippy or something. Have you found since being back, have you found your local that you go to chip shop?
We don't, where I live at the moment, we don't have a local chip shop. We have food vans that sort of rotate through, and one of them does a mean fish and chips. So as soon as they rotate in on the weekly schedule, then I'll be up in the van getting the fish and chips.
I was say that's kind of like the dream I remember as a kid, having the chip van. You always used to come around. You know the spots and the time.
Yeah.
So I bet that's just the anticipation.
Yeah, for sure. It'd make it easier if it was like an ice cream van and a little song would play if they came into the village. So that would make it a bit easier, really.
And maybe that's some marketing you can get into. Josh
Oh,
Mcswiggan,
yeah.
the author of the Chip Shop song.
Yeah, I'll give that a go and see how it works.
I mean, so when you went to the States, how was being from the UK? How was it kind of integrating into their culture?
So at first, obviously, it's quite a shock. I went at 18, 19, so you don't. I never really experienced much, like long-term like traveling. You do your week holidays here and there, but when I got there, it was a bit of a shock adjusting to sort of the culture. I can't put a finger on exactly how their culture is, but like it's just when you get there, you'll know that it's just a different style of living. But at first it was a bit of a shock, but it didn't take long. It wasn't that bad, especially in the in the college basketball scene. Like people are very nice and very kind and very comforting, knowing that I was a long way from home and still a young man at the time, not fully matured. So I had a lot of like mentors and things like that for people to look out for me. Sorry.
I was just saying, did you have quite a few people that helped you kind of like bring you in and show you around like the city of Portland? Yeah.
So on my little journey when I was out in the States, I had people in all areas where I was. I had host families and such and such. So and there's a lot of like they're donors to the universities that would also like reach out to me and ask me if I want any help with things or if I want to meet up for some food and such. And so that was a really nice thing to have people that knowing that just out of the kindness of the heart wanted to look out for me.
That's awesome. Right, so we're going to move on to a quick fire round, a quick little segment.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Dive into the world of kind of pop culture and pick the brain of Josh Mcswiggan. So, first question, Marvel or DC?
Marvel, definitely.
Why?
It's just how it's all connected. I love that how it's like I said, just connected, and I like the sort of the lightheartedness out of it. I love a good superhero movie, but I like how they keep it fun, they keep it fresh, and the DC. If you're looking for quite an intense movie, then that's the kind of superhero movies that you're gonna dive into. But saying that, I am looking forward to a few DC movies coming out, so we'll just see. I think Marvel takes it at the moment because of just the quantity and how they're all, they all play into each other's timeline, so yeah, I'll go with that.
Sweet. The next one, Pixar or DreamWorks?
Ooh, now that's something I've not thought of.
A lot of franchises that are like combined to both.
That's tough. What's Shrek?
Shrek is DreamWorks.
I'm going DreamWorks then.
DreamWorks.
Shrek's one of my favorite cartoons, so I'll go with that. Pixar's pretty good. Yeah, DreamWorks. I'm going DreamWorks.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Going away from, well, maybe not pop culture, but definitely a popular question: cats or dogs?
Dogs for sure.
Are you very much a dog man?
Yeah, very much so. In the house, there's a lot of dogs running around. So, and I'm going to continue with that with more and more dogs. So that's just me.
Continue the legacy of the Josh Mcswiggan dog farm.
Yeah, for sure.
Games or films?
Oh, films. It used to be games, but I've kind of grown out that a little bit. So I'll go with the films.
There's definitely an age where you kind of just like leave behind games.
Yeah. I'm almost there. I'm almost completely done with them at the moment.
Films or books?
Oh, usually I would say films, but I'm trying my best to read more books. So I've expanded the library quite a bit in the past. Well, since the start of the first lockdown and stuff, and people have been buying me books for my birthday and Christmas, stuff like that. So I think that's something that slowly I think I'll get to, but it's tough at the moment, and you can't go wrong with a good movie.
What's your go-to book at the moment? Or if you had to go to one book to read right now, what would it be?
Okay, so, well, as I've not read many books, one that's fresh in the mind because I read it probably about April, May last year was I think it's Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. That was a really good book. Really good book.
And if you were to have a go-to film, like your favorite film of all time,
Ooh.
what is it?
Wow, that's a good question. There's so many, so I can't really say one.
If you were to nail it down to like a top 3.
Top 3, I'll go. I'll group all the Avengers together. I'll just group them together, the Avengers, and then oh my gosh. There's a movie called Lawless. That's a good movie that I really, really like, and I gotta go with I'll throw a Disney film out there. Probably go Big Hero 6. Yeah, that's a good movie. I'll happily watch that now, even now.
I watched that for the first time the other day.
Oh really?
Really good.
It's a
Really
good
good
movie.
film. I really enjoyed
like
it. So, would you rather travel via plane, or like, say if you were to get to a destination or go on holiday, would you rather go on a private jet, or would you rather go on like a yacht or a boat?
Oh well, that's not fair because I like both. Are we talking about like a long destination and then I get to do stuff?
Yeah, so if you say like maybe you were going on a plane and then spending your time on an island.
Okay, yeah, definitely a plane. I'm very impatient when it comes to travel. On a boat would be really cool. I'd like to do that because I really like cruises. I went on a cruise 2 summers ago, which was really good, and I'm planning on another one hopefully next summer. But for sure, I'm very impatient when it comes to travel, so I'll go with the plane.
One superpower you would like to have?
I'd like to have them all. I'll just say I don't know what I said maybe last time, but maybe fly. I think flying would be really cool. That'll tie into my traveling plans. I really, if I could skip the in between, that would be brilliant. Teleportation, that's even faster than flying, so I'll teleport.
There we go. I was going to say, this has the likelihood that you could join the Avengers on that point. So,
For sure.
So teleporting the next Avenger, I don't know, you'd have to come up with a superhero name. So, we've kind of discussed this already, so if you had to go for one, including your US and the UK, favourite takeout food?
Favorite takeout food? I would literally just say Chinese food. That is my favorite cuisine. Full stop. I love it so much.
Can't go wrong with the Chinese. What's your go-to order?
Oh, so my current order from the local Chinese restaurant is crispy shredded beef with no vegetables. Not a good thing. Whoever's watching, eat vegetables, but unfortunately I do not. And then I have orange chicken as my second. I go for 2 meals because one just doesn't suffice. Then I'll go with egg fried rice, and then I get some spring rolls on the side too.
Lovely stuff. No prawn crackers or anything like that for
No, I'm not really a prawn crackers guy.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh,
but
they're the first on the order for me.
Oh no, I think I ordered enough anyway, so the prawn crackers probably do too much.
So if you had to be any animal, if you could turn into any animal, what would it be? Maybe just for a day. If you could turn into an animal for a day, what would it be?
A lion. 100% quick and easy. I just love how they are. Lions have a different mentality, and I think there's always that talk about the king of the jungle kind of thing, and I think that'd be really cool.
Imagine if you just turn into a lion in the middle of Worcester. You look pretty out of place.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you say is the biggest thing on your bucket list at the moment?
I'd still go back to traveling. Like I said, I'm hoping to go on a cruise next summer. Because with basketball, I do get to travel, but I don't really get to see what I travel. And so I think, especially with the European, big European cities that I can say I've been to already, but I haven't really seen the sights, seen everything, and experienced it as a tourist. And so I think, traveling is a big thing for me. I don't like staying out there for too long, but just enough just so I can stay busy non-stop, because my mind just starts racing all over the place if I'm not busy. But I think that's my thing.
I was saying, is that kind of like one of the big, kind of regrets playing basketball for most people, is that you go to these big places but you can't stay there for too long?
Yeah, it's always a thought. I wouldn't say I never regret anything that I've done, but of course, like the places, I've been to so many beautiful cities that I haven't really been able to appreciate, because it's been on a bus and go through here and go past here and on all this stuff. So that's one thing that I have thought about, especially recently, of just been like, yeah, I've got to go see all these places, sooner rather than later,
And so, getting towards the final two now. So, you said that you would want to teleport as a superpower. If you could teleport anywhere, where would you go?
I would teleport back to the Bahamas. That was where my cruise was a few years ago, and I just loved it. Absolutely loved it, and I would 100% teleport there without a question, without a shadow of a doubt.
How long would you stay there for?
I think 10 days would be a good day.
Yeah.
I feel like after a week, you start slowing down a bit, and if you get to about 2 weeks, then you're just like, I want to do something else now. So yeah, about 10 days is probably the perfect time.
I'd say 10 days is usually like a good holiday. Like 1 week's not enough, 2 weeks is
For
too
sure.
long. It's the nice in between.
Yeah.
You gotta stay there.
To
for
stay
that.
busy and also relax and everything, that's the perfect time.
Definitely. And the final one, what would you say is your biggest addiction right now?
Addiction? Ooh. Biggest addiction. Actually, I'm going to be quite boring. It's actually reading books at the moment. I wouldn't have said that in the summer. I like to cycle in the summer and do multiple of things, but at the moment it's reading books, because I'm hearing all these experiences people had, reading these experiences that people have had through these books and stuff. I like to read things that expands my mind a little bit. So I think at the moment that's one of my things. I'm reading 2 books at the moment, so it's good to just expand the knowledge and hear and see different things.
So you mentioned in the summer you'd rather you would have done something else like cycling and stuff. What in the summer what would your go-to thing be? Say if you saw people outside, or like it's hot weather. Is there another sport that you'd rather play other than basketball?
Of course, basketball is near enough non-stop, but sometimes you like a little break and experience a couple things. And past few summers, I've dabbled in a few things. I've tried different things. I've been cycling was one big thing, just seeing more parts of England that I never thought I would have ever been to. I've been when I was in America, I did tennis a lot. I played tennis quite a lot throughout the summers. Clay pigeon shooting was another one that I did. That was it's an expensive sport, but it was fun the times that I had, and it's a very social outing. But yeah, I like to mix it up a little bit. Don't get stuck on one thing, but also do things that can keep the fitness up, but also give me a break at the same time.
I was saying, how good did you get at the clay pigeon shooting?
My friends would probably give a better answer. I wasn't half bad. So, but I'm sure there's a lot better people than I am.
So we'll move away from the pop culture questions and we'll move kind of onto your Wolves teammates at the moment. So they might watch this and come for answers soon. But, so. Out of all of your teammates in the locker room, who is the worst dresser?
The worst dresser? Oh gosh, I feel bad for saying anyone at the moment. I'm gonna be. I don't even know. I think we all wear sports gear, so I think we're all on the same page. But I'll I'll go neutral and take the safe one out on this one and say myself. I'll have to. I'm not getting involved in this.
You're sitting much of a fence sitter there.
Yeah, for sure.
We discussed this a little off camera before this. Who do you think has the worst music taste?
We've actually spoke about this before, and we've gone with Henry, because we don't actually know what Henry listens to. So, and being one of the older guys, I think we just assume he just listens to something that we've never heard of. So I think we'll go with Henry on that one.
Who would you say is the biggest trash talker in the
Biggest
locker room?
trash talker? Marty. Marty likes to talk. He just likes to talk, and yeah, it's not bad trash talk. It's just he's always talking. So yeah, Marty for sure.
I would say he did the Buzz 16 interview, and they were like, "Oh, have you got any weaknesses?" And he just went, "None." So that's
Marty for sure.
Who would you say is the most competitive?
Most competitive? Oh gosh.
See, I know that all of you are competitive watching your training practices going 3 on 3 on the courts.
Yeah, like you said, we're all competitive in our own way. I have to say myself, honestly, I'm very, very. I think I'm quite petty as well. So I think I'd have to say myself. So I'm quite petty when it comes to losing.
I was gonna say, do you hate losing?
Yeah, very much so.
Who would you say is the locker room DJ?
Big Mike. He plays his music all the time. So Jordan sometimes plays his music, but I'd say Big Mike. He's the locker room DJ.
Do you think he has more of a collective taste of the the group rather than?
I guess yeah. If you could pick a middle ground, I think you'd go for Mike. I think, yeah, I'd go with Mike.
Who is the locker room sort of joker or practical joker?
Joker, ooh.
Funny guy of the group.
I'd say Jordan. Jordan's funny. He likes to joke around quite a bit. But we're all got quite a similar sense of humour, so we're all on the same wavelength when it comes to it.
I'd say it's all back and forth.
Yeah, very
much. You get it.
Yeah, very much so.
So if we might have to film this sometime, but who would win in a 3-point contest between yourself? Mm-hmm. So I'm listing off some of the best 3-pointers. I mean, mm-hmm. if any others come to mind, please do let me know. Between you, Mika Elan, mm-hmm. Henry Wilkins, Martin Balconnect, and Brandon Anderson. 5 in the 3-point contest. Mm-hmm. Who wins it?
I'll be nice and say Mika.
You really want to say yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
You can say yourself if you want.
Yeah, well, I do think I'd win, but I'll say Mika.
Well, Mika, the challenge is out there. So we'll kind of move on to sort of your love for basketball. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the rest of the Wolves locker room won't take that to heart. So if you were to name one basketball player, past or present, who is your basketball icon or idol, mm-hmm. Who would you go for?
There's a lot of guys that you've that you can think of. I think one that sticks out is Kobe, just because of what he did for the game. A lot of people can say many different players, but Kobe for me was a particular player that I was fascinated with the way he played and the way he approached everything, and of course when I was going through college, I spoke with coaches who have coached high level players and have compared me to individuals. So I've did a lot of research, watching footage and things like that of different guys. DeMar DeRozan was one in particular, just trying to because of being similar size and things like that, just trying to model the game. But Kobe, I think supersedes all others.
And obviously, Kobe being kind of an idol, mm-hmm. Would he feature in a top 3 of all time?
Oh yeah. My top 3 is solidified. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no matter.
Who's in the top 3?
MJ, Kobe, then LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's out of those other two places? MJ and LeBron. Which one?
Well, I think the best of all time is MJ, and then Kobe second, and then LeBron. I think there's a lot of people that like to throw a different spanner in the works and argue for the sake of arguing, but opinions are opinions, and that's my top three in order. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, Kobe Bryant is kind of slept on almost.
Yeah, massively.
When it comes to that discussion, so I understand why he's probably second.
Oh yeah.
So obviously growing up, you must have loved playing basketball. What made you want to turn basketball into a career to pursue?
I think it goes back to competitive drive. I always played football until I was about 14, 15. That's when I started playing basketball, and I think just the competitive side of me, it was a game that I thought I could be good at, and it was just that, constant pushing myself to get better. And I think I didn't really, figure out if I could get anywhere with it. I was just sort of riding the hype train for a little while, just to play it for fun and because I was good at it. But when I was about 17, 18, when I started speaking to college coaches, pro coaches, agents and stuff like that, that's when I started to start taking it a bit more serious and things like that. So it was probably about 17, 18 is when I think the business side, mindset of it all sort of started to take over.
And then obviously your journey going from going to the States, coming back to the UK, starting obviously in France as well. You're playing now as a pro. You had quite a journey, but you're still pretty young. So what would you say, even though you've had quite a short career at the moment, list some maybe like top 5 moments of your basketballing career so far?
Oh yeah, just from experience and everything, there's so much already. I definitely every first year of somewhere I've been, the first game has always been like a very nice moment for every team that I've played for. That's always been a nice moment for me. Playing for my country, played for GB and represented the country was a huge, achievement and also an honour at the same time, to be able to play for GB and go from there. Throughout college, my senior night was a really amazing night. Through 4 years of college, you put a lot into it, and days seem to drag on, and you doubt sets in your mind a lot of the time with so much schoolwork as well as basketball being a full-time job and everything. So senior night was such a relieving night, and graduating with a degree and stuff like that, and just being honoured by the university was a really amazing moment. And those were significantly, I'd say, were the most, the most nicest moments or whatever. So yeah, those were really nice. It was really special.
Well, Josh, that kind of brings us to the end of our interview. Obviously, the Wolfpack at the moment watching, they can't be with us at the moment. So if you had one message down the camera for our audience, let it be known.
Wolfpack, I know it's been a tough year, and it's been up and down for everyone. We're here playing for you, and we know next year you're going to be right there with us every step of the way. And we hope you stay safe, and we get out of this pandemic soon and go back to normal and have a good time from there. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh Mcswiggan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.